Hi everybody, this is Andrew. Today we will talking about uh, the checking the cell in the Google Sheet. That means we have the loop iterating the range and the checking the cells. For example, here we have the round robin tournament. A team 1 to 10 and they will have some 9 round matches. So team 1 to team 2, team 1 to team 3. And they get the score is team 1 win team 2. So team 2 lost team 1. So we want to check the value is positive. If that one is negative, the, the value is exactly the same. The 2 is minus 2. The 1 is minus 1. We will check the score just like this way. We will check the size, the scores is 1 by 1. Today we will implement the functionality to check 1 by 1. Today, after you're watching, you will know how to loop each cells row by row or column by column. So we will deployment this score checking. So something like that. If something wrong, for example, this is not matched, the row is 1 is minus 1, so you check it, you can get the wrong value. It's get the wrong value, it's stop. Okay, let's start. This exactly same with this one. We will check the score here. Just like before, we go inside the script editor. This is the last video's program. So today we will create another new one. Before we start, I introduce you some tips in the Google script. Normally, we build up the common method file, name utilities. In here, you can put on the common method. For example, I have the common method in here, so I give you some just like this way. This here is transfer the array into a string. That means input array, output a string, and each item with a new line. Okay, let me test it. Test it here. Okay, we just like something like before. We get the UI and get active the sheet here to UI alert alert so here we use toString the function So line 1, line 2. It will output line 1 and the new line put on line 2. Okay, let's start. Test it. Save it. Test it. Okay, go there. It's line 1 and line 2. This function toString is in the new file, in another file. So here, you just use whatever you want the other program to call this program. Okay, today we will focus on iterating the function. Iterating. Here we have the function here. So before we do the test, the score sheet, so I want to show you something like how can get property of the cell. To save our time, I copy the source code. Don't worry about it. I will put. I will paste all the source code in my video description below the video. So here I explain to you is test gets the function name and get UI and sheet active sheet. So here you get the range. That's the C3 to L12. C3 here, C3 to L12. This is the range. I will work on this range. Okay. I will retrieve the property from the function, the built-in function. I said the array is this way. Array this way. File name is based on the sheet. Based on the sheet, you can get the name. The name is file name. It's this file name. This file name. Get the sheet name. We have the sheet name here. This is the sheet name. We got A1 notation. A1 notation is this one means A1 notation. You can get the which one, the range notation, which one you can get it. Another one is last row and the last column. The function last row and last column. That is, last row is 12. Last column is L. Not L means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. That means 12 to 12. Height and weight. Height means you select here how many rows and how many columns. That's the weight and height and weight. Another one is you can get the value based on the cell. The cell is 1, 1. Here is 1, 1 based on your selection. This is 1, 2. The row is row 1, row 2, row 10. The column is column 1, 2, 3, and 10. That's a base from 1, not 0. If your program, normally we use the start from 0, but in the JavaScript, in the Google Sheet, it's a start from 1. It's 1 to 10, 1 to 10. you can get based on the cells dimension to get the value. Okay, let's do start, save it. Yeah, that one is start function. Okay, run it. We select the C2 to L12. So here, the tips. The file name is tips. The file name is tips. The sheet name is script iterating. The script iterating. A1 notation is C3 to L12. Last row and the last column. Last row is 12. You get the number here. Last column is a number related L. It's a 12. It's a 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever. Height and width is only for your selection. Last one is the last row, last column is absolutely position, but the height and width is relative location. So here is 1 to 10, 1 to 10. It's 1 to 12, 1 to 12. It's a little different. The cell, you can get the top left and top right. The top left and top right. The T left here is 1, 1. The program is 1, 1. The program get cell is 1, 1. Another one is 1 range get width. Width means the last column. It's a top left and -6. It's -6. And right is bottom left and the right is 6. And bottom right, the bottom right here. So this one is get the height. That one is last row 1. And last row and the last column. Last row, last column. This one's relative. It's not this one. This one's absolutely location. It's a little different. So you can get the information here. Based on this one, we can start our programming. Just like before, we have to insert the button. From here, the shapes in the button. Here is just like this way. Put on the checkScore. Something like that. You can make the centralize, the both, whatever you want, and save. Here, put on here's, and assign a function. We already get the function here, iterating, or let's test the score. Okay, we put on the function name here, something checkScore, something like that. Okay, we can send the function name here. Just like select it, assign here, the checkScore. Okay, before we start, check it out. Check it out is a very simple one. Is you can, before you start, you can use this way to check it out. Just like here, something like that. Start. Yeah. Okay. Save it. This function to check this function, not one when we started from this function. Or you select this function, but or check that it's linked to our special function. So check it out. Start. Okay, that function is works. So we will working on the check score here. So same before. So we save our time. I just copy paste my program, and then you can get it, the source code from my description, the video's description. So here's, check it out. Okay, I explain to you how it does work. The firstly, we get the UI. Next one is get activities sheet. Get the range C3 L12. That's a C3 L12. And then we will get the loop, the next loop, because we have to check this area, right? It's enough. We don't need to check the other side. That's enough for us, because we check it out. This cell we don't need to check it because we already checked it. So we only need to check the triangle here. So that one is based on the row, first row, the second column. The first row and second column. And the other one is the next line is start from the next column after the first row. Okay, so here is from the first row to the end. The first row to the end. This one is row 1. The column, if you start the row 1, I will start column plus the row number. For example, the third row, we will start from the 4th column. The 5th row, the 6th column. Something like that. That's the 2 loop. Another one is this one. We will put on the status into O2. This is O2. O2 is merged cell, but we only use the left corner, the top left. The top left is O2. Is their location. Okay, the firstly, we get the range, range O2, and we will set a value into this cell. What's value to set is we get the cell row and call. For example, this is the first one, row and call is 3. It's a 2 1. Okay, 2 1 here, and get A1 location. That means A1 location is D3. Another one is comma, the get one, call and row. That's this way, because the 1 2 and the 2 1, the 1 2 and 2 1, 1 3 and 3 1, something like that, and get A1 location. That one display the status into O2. Okay, Next step, we have to get the background, the cell, row colrow. That one is status. We're working on the two things. So we get the background color. That means we set the new color. After check, we put on the original color back. That one is get the cell. Basically, we get the cell, and then we can get the property or set value, whatever you want. The column up and column down, the two color. And then we set the background. This is get background. We set background is yellow. That means if we get these two columns, is set to background is yellow. When we checking, this is the checking line. We will get the row and columns value if not equal to minus column row value. We will set the background is green and row is group row plus 1. That means exit this loop. Exit this loop. It's break. Break this row, another row is break again. If equals, that means this one equals minus this one. So we will set the background back. Here we already get the original background. We set the background back and get the loop here. Finally, it's finished. Set O2 into done. Okay, let's start. Here is checking the location, and this one is change. Which one the status? Which one or in checking? Which one in checking? If something wrong, we will stop. We check one by one. This loop, the loop only the top triangle here. Only check the top triangle and back the lower triangle here. It's done. Check all the score. It's working fine. So here, for example, I change into 3. It's not match. So check it out. Done. This one is wrong. You can get the functionality to check all the scores. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for your watching. If you like it, please subscribe me, please. Thank you. Bye bye.